Hey everybody, welcome back to New Stuff TV, the untechnical tech channel, your new home for the best infotainment on YouTube. I'm your host, Antoine Two Booms Richardson, because today we're going to be checking out some Bluetooth speakers that produce a lot of boom, but we got a real first world decision to make here. And that is going to be, is two better than one, since you can get two for just about the price of one. And what I mean by that is the JBL Xtreme 3 is a great speaker from JBL. Now, I have not been shy about my opinion of it in the way that I think the JBL Charge 5 is actually a better speaker, better value, and just better overall. But we're not here to talk about that. I actually did do a video. You might want to catch that one too. It's should you get two JBL Charge 5s or one JBL Xtreme 3. I did that whole comparison in another video, but we're not going to talk about that. That's enough of the JBL Charge 5, okay? Back to business. This video is about the JBL Xtreme 3, two of them versus one JBL Boombox 3. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because this is 500 bucks, all right? That's a lot of money. $499, but for all intents and purposes, I'm gonna keep on saying $500 for the JBL Boombox 3. Great speaker. I love it. It is actually my favorite, if not second favorite, next to the JBL Charge 5 as far as like Bluetooth speakers, period, and like JBL's lineup. But the JBL Xtreme 3 is, oh, how much is it? Okay, I had to go back and look it up. This bad boy is $280 on Amazon right now. This means you can get two JBL Xtreme 3s for $560 right now on Amazon. Or you could just save the 60 bucks and get one JBL Boombox 3. Man, these are some serious first world decisions because we're talking about over $500 here. So here we are, two for almost the price of one. I mean, $60 ain't that much difference between the two because of what you're getting, right? But we got a lot of sound quality coming out of these things, and then we have a whole bunch of sound quality coming out of the Boombox 3. So how do we start this conversation off? In the department of sound quality and like producing a lot of sound, we'll have to figure that one out later in the episode. But for starters, we're gonna start off with things that, I don't want to do the tech stuff like the specs and everything. Let's do battery life. Let's do battery life. All right, so we got 24 hours here on the Boombox 3. This is 24 hours worth of battery life on a single charge, provided you play it at a decent volume. We're talking 20, 30, 40%. As soon as you start cranking it up past that 40, that 24 hours is going to diminish, okay? So don't be expecting to get a full 24 out of here unless you keep that volume at a tamed, like social level. But you only have about 15 hours worth of battery life on the Xtreme 3. Which I think is kind of a disappointment because the Charge 5 actually has 20. I've digressed. I said I wasn't gonna bring that speaker up no more. But you only got 15 hours on a single Xtreme 3. But if you got two of them, you now have a total of up to 30 hours of battery life. That's 6 more hours of playtime, provided you're playing it at a decent volume. So you get a little bit more volume, or you get a little bit more battery life on these two Xtreme 3s, extra 6 hours over the 24 hours you would get out of the JBL Boombox 3. So that's a huge plus for getting two of these. Also, with the Xtreme 3, not only do you have, in one, you got all these drivers up in here producing a great quality sound, but you can actually stereo pair. See, I was going backwards in my head. You could stereo pair these, or you could do it in Party Boost, but since you have two of the exact same speaker, the way that works is you can actually pair them up in stereo mode, having a left and right channel separate from each other, playing from different sides of the room or just different sides. So that's a huge bonus and benefit from having two of the exact same JBL speakers in the Xtreme 3. But over on this side, you have a speaker system. I've said it once, I've said it probably 3 times or 4 or 5. The JBL Boombox 3 is not just your average Bluetooth speaker. This is a complete speaker system. You have a racetrack style subwoofer in here, two mid-range drivers, or dynamic drivers I should say, and then 2 tweeters laid on top of them, along with those bass radiators on the side. You're getting a lot more than that. Then you're getting a lot more in here as far as a system than you do with one of these. But now we're talking about 2 of these. So you're getting a lot more drivers when you get the 2 Xtreme 3s. There's a lot of numbers I'm spatting off here, man. So we've talked about battery life, and we've talked about the ability to stereo pair. What else do we need to talk about? Let's talk about portability. Now this is where it gets a little hairy, because in a previous video, I did talk about how this Boombox 3 It's not like gargantuan, but it is a massive Bluetooth speaker, okay? It does have an integrated handle, and I love it. You just, keep it out of the sun or it will scald your hand. But it does weigh about 15 pounds, okay? And you do have to carry around a dedicated power plug for this thing because it uses a DC input, okay? So when you run out of that 24 hours, you not only have this gigantic heavy Bluetooth speaker to lug around, but you also have to lug around a special cable for it. Whereas on the JBL Xtreme 3, let me double check this before I start lying to you folks on TV or YouTube. Yeah, you got a USB-C charging input. So you pretty much always have a USB-C charging cable laying around and you can charge this thing up. So you don't have to worry about carrying around specific or extra cables for it. But the problem is you have two of these. Now they're not super light, but they're not heavy either. So, I mean, it's got a nice little weight to it. But you have two of them. That's the problem, okay? So if you put one in a bag or whatever, you might have some room left, but now you got two of them lugging them around because you want more sound and you might even want it in stereo. Now, in the conversation of portability, the JBL Xtreme 3 does come with this really nice strap. You can just buckle onto these shackles right here and keep it moving. I really don't like the strap, okay, for this type of speaker because it's still kind of flimsy and it just kind of moves around a lot. I would rather they have kind of like like a grip here or something like that, or like a recessed thing for your hands to go in there, or an integrated handle for a speaker of this size. It doesn't have to be that big, but I would prefer that over the strap. But the strap does make it portable. And I like the fact that it's detachable, so when you don't need it anymore, you can just take it off. Now, both the JBL Xtreme 3 and the Boombox 3 are life-proof, meaning that they are IP67 rated. So you can feel comfortable taking these things out to the pool, and if they fall in, that's gonna be just fine. And let's say if you're on a boat or something, if they fall in the lake, they will float so you can actually retrieve them. And IP67 means that they are dust proof too. So, solid matter like sand and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about any of that. They're both very well coated with this mesh material that they have on there, which keeps it nice and clean because all you gotta do is just kind of spray it off. And they do have silicone coated bumper stops on the ends of them that keeps them well protected and still looking good if you drop them or bump them up against something. But now it's time for us to figure out the answer to this really first world problem we got here. If you've got $500 and some change burning a hole in your pocket, should you get one JBL Boombox 3 or two JBL Xtreme 3s? There's only one way to find this out. Let's go. Oh man, man, it's a good thing I had my O-stand magnetic case from Taurus on this iPhone 14 Pro Max. Man, has that ever happened to you? You minding your business, you pull your phone out of your pocket, all of a sudden a ghost just pops out of nowhere, smacks your phone out of your hand and it lands on the concrete? But with this O-stand magnetic case from Taurus, we have 360 degrees worth of protection on all four sides, all four corners, the back, and of course, a lifted screen. Baked in, we got this best of its kind Halback MagSafe magnetic ring here. That way you can just snap on all your MagSafe accessories. But once you flip it out, the MagSafe ring also doubles as a three-way kickstand, so you can enjoy all of your media content from any angle. And as an added bonus, it also makes it easier and comfier to hold in your hand, just like this. Now, I don't know if you're accident prone like me, but when it comes to protecting my iPhone 14 Pro Max, Taurus has got me covered with their new O-stand case lineup. Now, don't be out there in the streets running around with your phone all naked. Get yourself protected with Taurus. This has been your iPhone public safety announcement. Now y'all keep being good to each other, and I'll see you when I see ya. Guys, did I ever tell you that I have the best job in the world? I get to jam out to Bluetooth speakers and headphones for a living. It don't get no better than this. But I still got these first world problems like which one is gonna be the best? Is it gonna be like the JBL Xtreme 3 times 2, or is it gonna be the JBL Boombox 3 times 1? They both sound great. Now this is a tight competition, man. They both sound great, but I'm a little biased and I'm leaning towards the portability and the sound quality of the Boombox 3 because it just sounds a little bit more controlled, especially at higher volumes. Yeah, but I don't know, man. That's a tough one. What do? You heard it for yourself. Do you get 2 JBL Xtreme 3s or 1 JBL Boombox 1? For the difference of $60 between, you know, if you're gonna buy it or not. So man, that's really tough, man. I don't know, bro. But what I do know is, first of all, I gotta tell you, I'm no expert in this kind of stuff. But what I do know is, if it jams, turn it up.